In this video, we're going to rank the best online businesses to start in 2025. And so here we have 7 businesses here that are some a little bit similar, but pretty much in 2025, we have SMMA, which is pretty saturated and it's been around for a while. We have AI agency, it's only come around in the past 2 years. E-com, been around forever. Clipping agencies. OnlyFans management or AI OnlyFans. YouTube automation, and running a sales agency. So if you were maybe in high ticket sales and you were wanting to come to businesses, offer and train their closers and place a closer for their particular offer and generate a rev share, that's what a sales agency is. And so the first one that we'll take a look at that most people probably know of is SMMA, right? Is this still a good business model to run today? To be honest, not really, right? There are a lot of better vehicles to get into. And I would say, on a tier of, hey, this is the worst choice, super low average, all these things on an S tier list, I would say, to be honest, SMMA is probably the worst, right? In terms of measuring the time that you have to put in, right? How receptive the market is to this business model and basically just how saturated it is, right? While it is extremely beginner friendly, but it's no longer beginner friendly because there's so many beginners, right? I definitely put this on the F tier list, right? Let's take a look at the next one, which would be an AI agency, right? And you can say, oh, I have a bias because I run an AI agency myself. Is there are certain vehicles that are more beginner friendly than not, right? And so an AI agency is beginner friendly because anyone can learn these online tools, right? But it's not as beginner friendly than, let's say, like a sales agency, right? Like if let's say you worked, it depends on your background. If you worked in high ticket sales and you collected 500K or more at a company, I would say you have decent enough skills to where, you understand how different offers work. Right? You worked in 2 to 3 different offers, collected $1 million or more. You can start your own sales agency, right? But for an AI agency, I would say that AI agency is the maybe second the best choice, right, on an A tier, right? And next one that I would look at is, real quickly, is OnlyFans management, right? I don't like this just because it's unethical, right? But there are people creating AI influencers, and you don't have women showing their tits and all those things. So people are making money through AI influencers without, nudity or any of those things. So it's a business model where you don't need to show your face. Anyone can do it, right? It generates you money without you trading time for money. So to be honest, that's why it's better than SMMA, right? You're not slaving your way for a roofing company, right? You're generating AI, and the AI OnlyFans person is the one doing all the work, right? And so, but the issue here is you're very dependent on platforms, all those things. So to be honest, AI OnlyFans, I wouldn't put it on the lowest of tiers. I put it here on a D tier, right? The next one that maybe we want to look at is maybe YouTube automation, right? So using AI or having an editing team creating YouTube videos on and on and on, right? It's great because you can generate ad revenue, and you generate revenue from YouTube that pays you on a CPM basis, and you become monetized, and you're gonna have multiple channels, right? The issue is you become reliant on one channel. So if YouTube decides to change anything on the way they charge, you're screwed forever. So it's very short-term, business, right? And you can argue that people have been creating on YouTube forever. I agree, but those YouTubers, they have a personal brand, right? So they take their traffic off of YouTube and put it elsewhere into a funnel, all those things. So they actually make a lot of their money elsewhere through affiliates, all those things. But YouTube automation, I just don't like it as a platform because I never want to have my business rely on a particular platform, right? Because they change something one day, you're pretty much screwed forever, right? And we don't want that to happen, right? And for YouTube automation, because it is reliant on YouTube, right? That's where the platform, we don't have Vimeo automation. Then that's why here I put it on a E tier, right? But it's very lucrative, right? You make money through affiliates, ad revenue, and be a monetized creator paid on a CPM basis. And you build a personal brand, send the people to a funnel to buy more things from you, right? The next we're gonna look at is clipping, right? So clipping agency is essentially you run like a WAP or community, something like that. You find jobs for you go to influencers, streamers, say, hey, I offer you a million views for $1,500, right? You take $1,500, you give $1,000 to community, make $400 commission, right? Not too great in terms of like money, because you're still kind of dealing with like a spend, right? You have to pay out the community, so you have kind of slim margins here. But it's very in demand, right? Lots of people are looking for clipping, right? The issue here is clipping is a pain in the ass to manage. I have a lot of friends who run clipping agencies, and one of the biggest things, other than is one, quality control, making sure the content that's created actually is fit for the creator, or else they kind of nickel and dime you sometimes on, hey, like this video shouldn't count towards 1 million views, right? You have to have quality control. You have to make sure that you can also deliver on a certain deadline. So if you have multiple clients, clipping, you have to deal with a lot of people, right? There's AI clipping software like Opus Clip, but they're just not there yet, right? Creators don't like those. Best clips are created by people, and you're basically a glorified editing team, right? So I would definitely put it on a C tier, right? The next one that we'll look at is ecom. So ecom has been around forever. The great thing is people get a tangible product. You run ads, or organic, or TikTok shop, and people buy from it. The only thing is obviously your startup cost, your inventory. You still have to worry about inventory, shipping, packaging, all those things. That just comes with ecom, right? If you're gonna deliver a physical product to someone, that's what you need to do. The good thing about ecom is now there's so many tools that you can build a funnel, build a site, create content now. You even use TikTok shop to generate money. The creator economy is better than ever to generate. So I honestly put ecom here on a B tier. The only reason it's not any higher is just because it's not as beginner friendly, right? It's like if you fail one time, it's much worse than like if you start an SMMA or an AI agency. It's like you only trade your time for money, but if you fail in ecom, you kind of trade your time and money. So you're kind of screwed both ways. And the same what can be said from an AI agency, but you don't need to worry about inventory, all those things, right? And so the risks on the startup cost is much higher for ecom, but it's still very lucrative. People want as a product. I don't see ecom going away anytime soon. Now, the best one I would put is a sales agency. And you might think that this is interesting, but here's the reason why. Sales agency, anyone can start. If you want to work in sales, AI agency, clipping, like if you're client facing, right? If you're an AI agency, if you run a clipping offer, or you run an SMMA, or if you have a personal brand teaching people how to do YouTube automation, OnlyFans management, or ecom, you are going to sell to people. When you sell to people, you need a closer, you need a salesperson, high ticket sales. So anyone who has a high ticket sales background can start a sales agency once you have experience, right? So this is the most beginner friendly. Not that you shouldn't be a beginner in sales and then do a sales agency. You should have some high ticket sales experience, but sales is a skill that everyone needs, and it's not going to go away anytime soon. We're not going to have AI doing sales calls anytime soon within the next 3 to 5 years, right? So this isn't going to go anywhere anytime soon. And I think the fastest way for someone to start up a business with a high skill that every single business needs is definitely a sales agency.